Oh, okay.
Yeah, just face them away from you.
Take up more real estate.
Yeah, you know, I do what I want. There.
You're gonna wake up Gabby with those meat hands.
I'm sorry.
I forgot to feed the cats.
Oh, do you need to do that real
No,
quick? Okay.
no.
Yeah,
They're
they're
fine.
fat enough.
Jesus Christ. Little fuckers.
They're not little by any means.
Well, the girl is. The girl's little. Khaleesi is
Are
small.
you sure?
Yeah, Khaleesi's small.
Whatever you say. I'm pretty sure she's like twice the size of my cat.
No, she's not. The gray one?
Okay, yeah.
The gray one actually is small.
Okay.
Snow is a tubby fuck. And I make fun of his weight, and then Gabby gets mad at me.
I know.
She goes, "You know he can tell what you're saying. He can feel your energy."
Good. Cheers. Oh yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Tasty.
I mixed up more things this time, so we
Did
could
you?
get a better flavor. I suddenly feel the need to do the Aramis.
Oh yeah.
All right, well,
We're back.
here we are. We're back. We're recording. Everything's on.
Yeah. It's all on.
God, it's just a dream.
Cameras on, recorders on, games on.
Great, fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Hair's on.
How are you? How are you this morning?
Amazing.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm amazing.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
I was excited for this day. We got
Yeah,
a
I've-
lot going on today.
I've been excited about today since Friday.
Yeah.
Having a having a weekend of no tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just leads itself to like I can't wait for Monday.
Yeah.
You know, we had a great workout on Friday, and then I went and played Stony Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
The workout cost me.
Did
for
it?
Sure.
Oh,
For sure. I'm not one to make excuses. I didn't play well. It's totally fine. Totally
Yeah.
fine, right? Like I didn't go out. I didn't deserve to move on from the semifinals, and it is what it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts. Like we switched it up. I had the metronome going,
Mm-hmm.
and I have paid very little taxes for changing my entire form.
Yeah.
Right? Like I went out the weekend after, played 2 tournaments, shot just under my rating, super smooth golf.
Yeah.
Okay, so changing the form and changing kind of like the way that I do things, and then being on a shaky body with some wind. No,
No.
dude, I could. It took me 6 holes to get comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and I warmed up for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
So I got there, threw shots, throwing shots for the warm up. I was okay. I just felt like a little rubbery, you know, because we actually lifted weights
Yeah.
on Friday. So
Not heavy.
not heavy.
But we added
but enough.
a little weight.
Right,
Yeah.
like some weight, so your body neurologically responds, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually took a little bit of a nap, like an hour and a half worth
Yeah.
of a nap afterward.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got back. I took a shower and I was just like, I need like something. Like
Yeah.
I was like exhausted or whatever. I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel great now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was what I was. So I did the same. Gabby was like, "Come here," and then like the minute I laid next to her, I was out cold. But then I woke up and I went to when I woke up, I was like, "Yeah," and I felt great. And I was running a little bit behind, but I was still gonna be there half an hour early. And I was like, "Fine, good." So I get there, warm up. When I'm warming up, I'm not really trying that hard. I'm just trying to get my body loose. It's a little shaky. I'm like, this might be all right. Throw some putts. Putts are fine. I was like, let's see how this goes. I knew that was a risk in
Yeah.
the Friday morning workout.
Yeah.
So tee off a hole 1 and just didn't really get into the throw, but I just threw a hyzer, whatever. Anyways, I'm not even going to go through the whole round. Hole 2, and well, after my first shot, it took the next 10 shots for me to like be able to throw a good shot because I just couldn't get comfortable in the form, in the rhythm, in whatever. Like everything's kind of shaky, and like I already am like feeling so different when I'm throwing. Like it feels good, but I already feel so different, and then my body feeling so different. It was like having sex with someone else's dick. I was just like, what is going on here? Like I'm not even sure what I'm involved with. And then like I would just throw it, and I was like, okay, like that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And it was windy, and so like since I changed my form, right, and you change stuff, like my discs fly a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And so I paid a little bit of tax on that. But then I kind of like honed it in. So I got like I hit a 50-footer or something on 7 for
Nice.
the 2, and then I 3'd 8, and like after that it just kind of worked its way out, and it was fine. I ended up shooting 58 on blue longs,
Okay.
and it was a 58. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other explanation necessary. Like,
Yeah.
started off real shitty, did well on some holes, missed some holes I should
And
have
you guys,
got.
you played Stony Blue Longs,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess for those who don't know, hole 1 and 2 are
They're big.
they're big.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you go there. They're giant holes to start with.
yeah. So yeah, my drive I hyzered
Mm-hmm.
on 1, so I was over by like the basket,
Yeah.
and I had like a good hyzer shot up to the opening for to take the 4 guaranteed,
Mm-hmm.
and just early released it and threw it right into that tree.
Really?
The tree, like on the corner of the fairway, it's like 410 off the pad. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right into the middle of it, and it just stuck right in the middle.
Nice.
So my second shot from that was this like super lean out Annie patent pending meteor shot, which I threw right to the middle of the fairway, which was dope, and then threw a super sweet Rocco up shot. Like, just like I had the tiniest angle to get towards the basket into the opening.
Rocco is a
It's a Ringer GT.
okay.
And so I like literally like Herzog was right behind me, and I had like the tiniest line to hit it and just nailed
Yeah.
it and parked it. And he was like,
Nice.
"That was a great shot." I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be for a 5." But
Yeah.
whatever. And I was laughing.
Still, yeah.
I was laughing the whole time because I was like, I knew this was a risk this morning when Tuna and I were going like ham bananas on getting games that I was gonna have some losses later. But yeah, 7 was a shit or 2 was a shit show. I
Yeah.
threw it dead straight off the tee pad right into those trees.
Nice.
The only shot I had was to try to cut the corner on the second shot. So I just ripped a patent pending Annie straight across that field, landed somewhere, ripped the shit out of my third shot, and it turned over a little bit more and went right into that tree. So I was inside of there, so I had to like pitch out from there, and whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only good thing that came out of that hole is I ripped the shit out of the torrent once, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
like it was a rage throw.
Yeah.
But man, that thing fucking bombed. I was super happy about it. Hooked up and everything, even a little bit of a headwind. Hooked up, boom, put me like 28 out from, I don't know, 450 out maybe.
That's
430 out, yeah. So I was like super pumped about that. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That worked.
Yeah. Something good happened on this hole.
Yay. Maybe I could save the 6.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So
Oh,
whatever.
no.
It is what it is. And it
Yeah.
was fun. 2J shot really, really well.
Did he?
Yeah, and he just has such a like greasy, little smooth, spinny form.
Whatever
what I
it
mean?
is.
And
Yeah.
he just has those holes just dialed in, and he can just execute. Like you can, people get on him because he throws really like understable stuff and whatever. I've played a lot with him this year,
Mhm.
like at his house, the Meadow. He's got a personal course.
Yeah.
It's
So I've heard.
it's epic. I love
Yeah.
it. I really love it.
Because it's how many baskets and tee pads?
4. It's 4 baskets, 18 tee pads.
Okay.
And his backyard is like 150 feet across and 450 feet long.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of trees perfectly set up. One of the baskets is elevated, and it works.
Yeah.
Like, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like, there's full drives and like a lot of tight lines. And
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's a lot of OB, obviously, because out of the backyard is OB.
yeah.
But I played with him a lot. And the thing that I didn't know, because he is just genuinely, like, if you don't play with him, he's just genuinely kind of a laid back guy.
Mhm.
He's always like joking around and laughing or whatever. And sometimes he'll get heated.
Yeah.
But I had the chance. We went to Hunts to play a tournament together early in the year. And then I played at his house a bunch. And then I played with him at leagues a bunch. And he's a super competitive guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, he puts enough pressure on himself, but he executes, man. Like that round when I was watching him, like I was totally out of it. So I was like, whatever, dude, go get it.
Yeah.
Like every hole, basically, he's executing, he can putt, and he just has those shots dialed in. He's hard to beat at Sony for sure.
Yeah.
So so I was out, and then Skylar started off super hot, kind of fell flat for a minute. McGinnis kind of caught up to him for a little bit, and then Skylar pulled back ahead the last couple of holes. So Skylar and 2J will move on
Okay.
to the finals, and that's like my favorite.
And finals are this Friday?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know if I'm gonna go or not. Gabby's trying to fill up my time for Friday.
Nice.
She was like, "Well, leagues are over since you shit the bed." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, kind of.
Maybe, Yeah, and then my mom was trying to jump in on Friday too. I was like, man, you guys are savages.
Yeah. What are you What's happening here?
What's happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, I made sure to eat a couple meals, try to get my gains in. I've been sending you pictures of
Yeah.
the meals.
Did you make the last one or did you order out?
No, we went to eat. We went
Okay.
to we actually went to go to Picano's, the Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know me, I'm an Italian junkie, and Gabby obviously,
Yeah.
um,
Because she's Italian.
because she's a Sicilian.
Sicilian.
Yeah, let's
Sicilian.
So anyways, yeah, we went there, and they said on the website that they open at 1, but in real life they open at 2. We got there at 1:30 to meet up with Sandy for lunch on Sunday,
Nice.
and Gabby was pissed.
Oh my god.
So we went from there, and then we were gonna go somewhere else, and then that wasn't really going on. So we went to Tabuli
Yeah.
by Nordstrom Rack,
Yes.
because Gabby also, ulterior motive, wanted to go to Nordstrom Rack because they have a sale this weekend.
Of course.
So whatever, we went there. So it was Mediterranean food. So I just got the giant shawarma platter.
Yeah.
And just was like, got to get those gains.
Yeah.
Got to get.
It looked great.
It was good. The chicken shawarma was fantastic. The beef shawarma was dicey.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like chicken shawarma was probably like 980 rated, and the beef shawarma was definitely like 908. Like it had hit a lot of trees and missed some really easy putts. Like it was not good.
Looked better than it tasted.
It looked better than it tasted.
Yeah.
But
gains. So.
yeah, but gains. So
Yeah.
it's funny. So we've worked out now 6 times, 7 times,
Yeah.
6 or 7, whatever.
Something
it
like
is.
that. Yeah.
And so I've realized like I've slept more in the last couple weeks, more so the last week, because the last week's the first week that we did 3 full workouts, Monday,
Mhm.
Wednesday, Friday, and they were like good workouts. Like we got
Yeah.
in good work, no throwing up, no burping.
Yeah, only one time each of those.
Yeah.
Whereas one day, like I threw up the first day. I don't know if this was ever talked about. I can't remember.
We
It
talked
was.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we talked about like the burps.
We talked about the
Did
burping.
we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was obnoxious, but it was only like once each.
Yeah, it's just your body is also like, one was we did too much pre-workout, but 2, it's just your body
Yeah.
getting used to like, oh, we're really doing this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it-
the burps was different than too much pre-workout.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
yeah, but it's the same thing.
Anyways.
Like your body will try to protest
Yeah.
in any ways. So
Yeah.
you've
I told it no
yeah,
both times.
yeah,
I felt really accomplished about that.
yeah.
And then same with the side stitch. Like I had the one day where it was really bad, and
Yeah.
then since then it's been less and less. And then I also have been sleeping like just better in general. I had a couple days where I
Yes.
slept like an excess amount. It felt like,
Yeah.
and then just waking up feeling great.
Yeah.
And like I actually rested. Actually, whatever. I don't typically dream, which is like the norm, but I've had weird dreams lately. Like
I've
I
had
had
weird-
one the
I've
other day.
had-
I was like a Little Caesars worker. again.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a better one.
Yeah.
I'm at home waiting for my girlfriend to get home.
Yeah.
My girlfriend gets home. Who is it? It's Kim Kardashian. No, I don't like Kim Kardashian, and I like. I used to like the one rule that we had with because we have a TV in the bedroom. The one rule that I had is I don't want to wake up to the Kardashians, because Gabby would leave like E on or
Yeah.
whatever.
Does she watch Kardashians?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But she'd leave some bullshit on at night that she'd watch, like, Pop Daily News or something, whatever the fuck it is, where they tell you, like, what celebrities do at home. I don't know. And so I'd wake up and it'd be the Kardashians. This was not that situation. So I've had it before where, like, then the voices, you know what I mean? Like, the TV is then kind of in the background of your dream, and your dream kind
Yeah.
of syncs up with TV. This wasn't it. There was, like I left the TV on, so it was like murder mystery or something, because I leave Investigation Discovery on when I sleep.
Yeah.
And I rarely have dreams about murder, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's super weird. I was waiting for my girlfriend to get home. My girlfriend gets home. It's Kim Kardashian. But in my dream, it didn't go the way that you'd think, like, my dream's going to go, where she gets home and I'm like, wow, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
let's do this crazy
Yeah.
shit. I was on the couch and we were watching TV, and I was like, hey, do you want to get high? And she was like, yeah. And then we just, like, smoked weed. And then, like, I just kind of was, like, fading out on the couch.
Does
And
this break your 10-year contract?
No.
Okay.
And then I've had I think 2 dreams where I've like consciously like gotten stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was one of them with Kim
What-
Kardashian on the couch.
Were you lucid enough to know what you were doing? And then to
It-
like
it
say
wa-
like did you get like a weird
No, so in my dream, so the other time I did it, it was like a little bit weird.
Mhm.
Because I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this. and then I just got really tired. Like the high, and like when I get stoned in my dreams, this is the second time that's happened.
Yeah.
I just get really tired in my dream,
Okay.
and then I'm like, oh, I thought this was gonna be more fun. And then I'm like, God, I'm just really tired. Like, it's literally what happens in my dream.
That's hilarious.
So my dream stoned isn't fun. It's
Yeah.
not like a good time. But no, in this one, it was like our routine. Like that was our thing. So it wasn't so much like me being in that situation. It was like I woke up into me, and that's our routine. Like she came home, I was home. Like we obviously like wait for each other to get home.
Yeah.
And then when we're both at home, then it's like, let's get high and watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened. And then we were like literally just sitting on the couch watching TV. And then like I had to go.
Shout out Kim Kardashian.
Kim K. And then I had to like go and do something. That was my dream.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah. It was very weird. I woke up and I told Gabe right about it. I was like, you're never going to guess who my girlfriend in my dream was. And she was like, who? She was thinking it was going to be like someone we know. I was like, it was Kim Kardashian. She was like, what? I was like,
Yeah. Don't ask me. Ask
I don't
other
know.
Darren.
These supplements are fucking me up. But anyways, so yeah, so I've been sleeping more. And and I realized like part of that's because I'm probably not getting enough calories on board.
Mm-hmm.
Like part of if you're working out and then you're like, one, you need to sleep because your body repairs itself while you're sleeping. But if you're like sleepy and you're like, like sleeping more and more, it's because you're not giving your body enough nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, all right, I got to get focused. Like you and I always joke around about getting gains.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get focused on like getting more calories on board because
Yeah.
you're just kind of like wasting time if you're not giving your body the nutrients to like build the muscle that you're trying to build.
Yeah. Like eating the proper foods. Like,
Even, I mean, like to some level, yes, it would be better.
Yeah.
But in reality, like it really doesn't matter that much.
Mhm.
Like obviously, the more protein that you can put on board, good. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And if you can eat like raw vegetables, good.
yeah.
And eat enough vegetables, and enough protein, good. But in the end, like just eating, like
Yeah.
just getting enough calories on board to give your body something to work with, because your
Okay.
body can take whatever you're putting in and make whatever it needs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can make protein out of fat. Your body can. Your body can make protein out of carbs. I mean, like, if you go through the digestive cycles of how like things are broken down and made into other stuff in your body, it can do whatever.
Yeah.
So it would be beneficial if I could just eat like lean chicken breasts and
Yeah.
broccoli and rice all day, like the fucking CrossFit people you
Yeah.
watch on Instagram. But
Yeah.
also if I could just like eat enough. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It would be better than not eating instead of like whole, because that's what I do right now. Is I'm like, well, I'll make some chicken later and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And the reality is I'd be better off just like eating something now
Mm-hmm.
and then holding myself to like making better food for myself in the future,
Yeah.
but still eating now. Or
Yeah.
now I'm like, I'll make good food and then time goes by and then I'm like, fuck. And then I just didn't eat. So yeah, but no, so I'm just trying to, I got to eat more food. And that's why I've been trying to like get you involved in that. Send you
Yeah.
pictures. Send you
Oh, for sure.
Send you
Yeah.
questions 1:30 in the morning. Are
Yeah.
you getting your gains?
Yeah, I need to go to Costco today actually and get some stuff for on the road. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get like extra of those protein bars and whatever.
They're all gone.
Are
I
they
finally cleared out the
really?
stash. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I ate all of them. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of protein bars.
Yeah.
So I got to address that. Yeah, I got to go. I think I'm going on a Costco run tomorrow.
Yeah,
So I'll just have to live today without protein bars.
yeah, they're good. I had Amanda got the cookies and cream, and then that comes with the chocolate brownie, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cookies and cream is delicious,
Mhm.
and she was like, "I'll have one too. It sounds good." It's like, we'll see. She had one bite. She's like, "This isn't what I thought it was gonna be." Like, yeah, it's a protein bar. It's
Yeah.
not like a Reese's that you always eat.
Yeah.
Because she loves the white chocolate Reese's, so she figured it'd be something similar.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no,
No. No, it's not. So in our working out and moving forward of building the bodies that we want, so we can perform the way we want to perform on the course,
Mm-hmm.
it then has like, I used to work out a bunch, like at a different time in my life, right? So I was like into it.
Yeah.
And I've talked to you before about like CrossFit and stuff, and I have a lot of respect for those folks.
Oh yeah.
I think it's great that they're competitions. They don't know what they're doing till they get there.
yeah.
I can't get enough of it. And I think it would be such a tastic disc golf thing if like you went to a tournament, you got there, and like whatever it is, they had like things for you to do and places you can warm up and local courses you could play rounds at, but you don't know the course.
Yeah.
And then that day, it's like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the course.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
Like, say we get like a plot of land.
Yep.
And, or even like that park we went to, like even if it was like a little 9-holer or something.
Right. Temp course.
And then there's extra stuff to go with it, maybe.
Yep.
Is there, like in warm-ups, can they play to practice? Or is it like strictly no, but you can only like that way so everyone's on the same playing ground, that when you're out to play, everyone's playing it for the first time? Does that make sense?
I would say that week.
Okay.
Yeah, that week.
Okay.
Because that's a part of the game. So with CrossFit specifically, right? So they get there and they're like, this is what you're doing. Sometimes they use specific workouts that are like famous.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like doing, let's say like 3 legless rope climbs,
Mm-hmm.
and then doing like, clean, like snatch squat lifts, right? And then this other thing is the third part of the exercise, and you do that in a circuit for 4 circuits.
Yeah.
Like there's a name for that workout. That's
Okay.
like the Larry workout. So when
Yeah.
they get there and they're like, all right, event number 1 is the Larry workout. Those people are familiar with that workout.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they combo shit together, for the most part, they're familiar with each phase of the workout. It's just what combination they're putting them in.
Okay.
Like I watched Fittest in Dubai, which was from last year, and they had this thing called the acid wash,
Mm-hmm.
which right when they announced it, like, all right, event number whatever is going to be acid wash, everybody's like, fuck that. Because it's literally this like, each segment is a sprint, and then you just do them all in succession, and by the end of it, like, literally they even had like people, and these are like the fittest human beings on earth, like they couldn't walk. Like they got off the bike to try to get to the finish line.
What
They're, like,
is the acid wash? Like what?
I
is
forget
this?
what it is, but it's like a 3-stage thing that you do like a couple of times or something, and
Okay.
it's all like real hardcore metabolic.
Okay.
So it's just you live in the burn.
Gotcha.
Like you're going so fast at the bike and whatever it is, and the
Oh,
row.
God.
It's this thing where you have the 2 things that you pull down,
Yeah.
and then it's a row,
Yeah.
and then it's the bike,
Okay.
and all of it is at like such a pace that like you're at like a full sprint the whole time. So like you're just jacked with lactic acid by the end of it.
Oh my God.
So when you're on the bike for the last one and you're going,
Yeah.
and then you get off the bike and your legs are like, nope.
No.
like when we went
We're
for,
done.
when we went for the ride on Friday,
Yeah.
legs didn't hurt while we were riding.
No.
And then when I got off the bike, I was like, oh, okay, I feel it. Like it wasn't hurt.
yeah.
but-
you were doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I got off, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Like that's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
But for them, they get off the bike and they just melt into the ground.
melt on the ground. They have these giant muscles just in full contraction. Like, oh! I'm like, I stubbed my toe yesterday. I feel you, bro. But
I don't think that's the same.
but yeah, so they know like all the phases of the workout. So I
Okay.
guess it would be the week of.
So when they do theirs, they announce what it like. You guys are going to do the acid wash. How much time from that announcement till when they're doing it do they have? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think they announce it in the morning.
Okay, but it's like same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like for so I watched the beginning of the 2019 CrossFit Games.
Mm-hmm.
So the phase 1, they have they put up on CrossFit.com the night before and officially announced it to the competitors that morning.
Okay.
So
Because I'd like to see it where you only play it for the rounds. Like, no, you can warm up like in a field at a basket or whatever there to like putt, but like playing holes, I'd like to see it just be like no.
yeah,
And then that day that it's happening, everybody's like on the same playing field, because if you still have a week to practice, then I don't know, like everybody's played disc golf before, like you're at your level because of how much you've played, how much you put into it or whatever.
Yeah.
So playing another wooded like hyzer hole where you have to miss X amount of trees or whatever, or it's this shot and then OB behind it, I'd be interested to see how everyone fared with it being like just you. The only times you've played this course before is the 3 rounds that you play, or 2 rounds, whatever.
So that's like, so I used to work with horses,
Mhm.
right? And so I worked with hunters and jumpers, and towards the, I don't know, at different parts of my career, I worked with like real Grand Prix horses, like World Cup horses. I worked for like a few Olympians. Like I
Yeah.
took care of a horse that jumped 7'2" with a 220-pound man on
Yeah.
his back. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
told you about
yeah.
that. Like I did some legit shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I took horses. I prepared horses for classes that you go and win hundreds of thousands of dollars like right now.
Yeah.
And so for Grand Prix horses, right? It's you go around the course. Whoever gets around the course fastest wins.
Mm-hmm.
If you knock down a rail, it's 4 faults, and then if it comes down to it and there's a tie for time, then it's whoever has the least amount of faults, right? And then
Mhm.
so if there's a bunch of clear people for the first round, for the first round there's usually a time limit.
Okay.
So if you make it around the first round and you got clear and you made it in the time, you advance to the jump off. Then the jump off is like a smaller, different version of the course, and that's the one for just pure time. And whoever does it the fastest with the least amount of faults wins.
Okay.
They do it in the Olympics. They do it for whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the cool one. The other one's kind of lame. It's like, well, what do you look like on the horse? And I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hunting is like, how smoothly did you go around? Did you
Oh.
jump from the right places?
Yeah.
I like to a horse is like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then it didn't knock down a rail. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So when you do that, they literally set up the course and then you walk it.
Okay.
You go out and you walk it. So that way you can walk distances and look at the jumps and look at like the footing and the ground and what's going to be where and what's going to be that. And when you go out to like compete on the course, it's the first time you've ever ridden it.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I like
you,
that.
You warm up in a schooling area. You do your jumps. You get your horse ready. However you do that. Whatever.
Whatever this is.
Whatever. And then you come up to the thing. They beep the horn. You have a minute to start.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out there and like that jump that you know is going to like freak out your horse because he hates purple or whatever the fuck it is. So then you like ride.
Is that actually a thing?
Oh yeah.
Like,
So
oh
then
my
you like
God.
ride your horse around to make sure that he can look at that one jump that you know is going to freak him out. Let him investigate it. Come back around, do your circle, and then start into the course and go.
Yeah.
There's no like out there on the course doing some different shit
Yeah.
and whatever. And so then you have to figure out what's my line on this going to be.
Mhm.
Am I going to try to cut it a stride short and come on a tighter line? Am I going to come out wider to set me up for the next jump? All that
Mm.
stuff. So I see like maybe you do, it's a multiple round tournament. So maybe the one day is the course. Maybe it's the first round.
Yeah.
It's like the course that you've never played.
Right.
And then after that, like each round, at least you've played it before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if it was
I
one,
like that a lot. Like
Yeah.
being able to walk the course. That makes sense to
Yep.
me because you're still not playing it, but you're still like getting as much information as you can. And then that's just testing your skill set at like, here's all the information I've got. Now it's time to go. And then you have your second round to like, all right, now I've actually played
Played it,
the course and
right.
you can like try to one up yourself or whatever.
right? And then the
'Cause
final
it's-
round.
Yeah, because it's really difficult for sure, like more times than not, to play a blind course and then play it well.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple tournaments. I had one specifically at Star, not Star down the road,
Yeah, I
but
know, I
the
know.
other
The
Star.
real Star.
Yeah. Where like never played the course before, shot like 14 down. It
Yeah.
was like course record. And then like 2 minutes later, Tim Barham comes in with a 15 down. It's like, fuck. And then my second round, I think I shot like an 8 instead. It's just like
Yeah.
hilarious just because what are the odds of that? Like just things were going, it's not like I was playing well, but also things were for sure going my way.
Yeah.
And then the second round where they went my way before, they didn't go that way before or the second time around.
Yeah.
But it was still a lot of fun. But I don't know. I really like that idea of doing a tournament like that, 3-day tournament. Like never played it before the first round, walk the course, whatever. Second round, your
Yep.
time to shine. And then third round is just like same court, just like finalization, whatever. I think that'd be a cool setup.
Yeah. I think that would be epic.
Yeah.
So I went out and did some field work with Parker, try to help him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me to throw some frisbees again, I think it was Saturday morning, 9:00. I was still super sore from the workout on Friday.
Yeah.
My body wasn't having it. I threw some good shots, but when I tried to like really pull into anything, it was like, no. Like I put the wrong gas in the tank. You know what I mean? Like I didn't kill the engine, but like when it hit, it'd be like,
There's
So-
a leak somewhere.
yeah, like I'm getting carbon monoxide. Like, whoa. So anyways, so we did that and threw some shots and did whatever. But yeah, we were talking about like prep for a round.
Mhm.
And I was telling him like, oh, it's a different skill set and this and that and whatever. And he was talking about like when him and Will went to Ledgestone and like playing the round and doing this and whatever. And I was trying to explain to him, and I was like, yeah, like the first time you're going around a course ever lifetime that you're going to compete on, you're not playing a practice round. Like you're like gathering information hole by hole to create your game plan. Then your practice round is trying to execute that game plan and find the flaws in it.
Yeah.
And then figure out like what plan B is if this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm like going to a course blind and then like throwing around and then being like, all right, well, I shot a couple down. I should be good for tomorrow. You're not, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he was like, well, you know, I don't know. We were talking about it. And I was telling him like, no, like if you actually walk through the course backwards, you're probably doing yourself a better service than you are playing the practice round because you can look at, you know, like, what are you comfortable with an upshot? Is it 250 feet? Do you need to be 180 feet in to feel comfortable? Like, how is it? And then look at that and then look back at the tee pad and be like, all right, I at least need to get to here to be able to get up to the hole. As opposed to like standing on the tee pad and being like, there's an opening there. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can into that opening and see where it goes.
Right.
I'm like, so it's just a different skill set. He's like, oh, that makes sense. I never thought of it that way. And I was like, well, yeah, but you also haven't gone on the road and played courses that you don't know, or even around here really played courses that you don't know.
Right.
So it wouldn't be a skill that you would naturally just figure out.
Yeah, because he went to Ledgestone was his first big tournament, like out of state or whatever, and he still like it wasn't even playing or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it was good for him to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For him to see that stuff.
Right.
Yes, which was nice. So I watched, and then I'll stick strictly to disc golf, I promise. But I watched the Eddie Hall.
Fine.
I watched the Eddie Hall thing.
Yeah.
Yesterday, no, 2 days ago.
Which one?
I don't know. It's in 2015.
Okay.
So he won like Britain's Strongest Man in 2014. Have you seen that one? And then at the
think
end of
so.
it, he breaks the record for the deadlift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
great. But he was talking about like, yeah, I've like pulled a lift before and his eye popped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That and I couldn't get over. So he's 6'3", right?
Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like slightly taller than you. I'm like
Yeah.
6'3" and a half, 6'4",
Yeah.
something right in that range.
Yeah.
Shoes or not shoes, it depends.
Yeah.
He's over 2 of me.
Yes.
Yes. Like he is over 2 of me. I'm like 178 pounds.
Yeah.
He's 385,
Yep.
390.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's a big dude. Have you seen his YouTube channel at all?
No.
He's great. Like his personality is hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy. But he was talking about like the biggest, you know, like one of the biggest things in his sport is eating.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you know, and he was like reiterating the same thing. Like if you're not putting on enough calories, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know, you're not like the demands that my workouts require for me to
It's
get
so much.
bigger and for me to maintain this size. He's like, I'm on 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just talking about like all the shit. But even him, like he's at some point like candy bars and fucking. He said he eats like an ice cream smoothie every day. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, dude.
like,
So I think I told you about it before, but like strongman is like I don't come from like a big sports background or whatever.
Yeah.
And strongman is a sport that
but
I
we
do
both
follow.
we both love, unbeknownst to each other, we both love strongman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and have for a long time.
Yeah, which is hilarious. So watching Brian Shaw, who's a 7'1" Goliath of a man who like a really soft-spoken guy until it's time to do shit, then he's
Yeah.
like scary. He's also on like 10, 12,000 calorie days. And on his channel, they have their cheat day. And it's I think it's him, Eddie Hall, and like 2 other buddies. And between them, they eat like 38,000 calories worth of food at Chick-fil-A. And they're up there and they're ordering like, yeah, I want 20 of these, 20 of those, like 2 smoothies or milkshakes for each of us, this, that, and the other thing. And
Yeah.
they just pound it.
Yeah.
Like they just film the whole thing, like it's a time lapse or whatever, because it takes them, I don't know, however long it takes to eat
Yeah.
50 sandwiches and smoothies and whatever. But yeah, it's all the same thing. That he goes into this home routine and you see he's like, I eat this every couple hours or whatever throughout
Yeah.
the day. I even have to get up in the night and eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like wasting my time. And he
Right.
spends so much money on like he eats steak and rice and whatever. And he prepares like every single day, and it's however many meals it is, like an
Yeah.
absurd amount.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And it's also funny. He's this giant strong man, and then he's got like a CrossFit wife, and they do challenges or whatever. So they like, she's really good at endurance stuff because he's
not.
big and fat, basically. But like, they just take turns doing that, and they're really competitive. and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's great. But yeah, it's
Yeah. I like. Yeah. That is fucking great, dude. My favorite couple though is the Mountain, Half-Thor and his wife.
I've never seen his wife. I don't think.
She's like 5. I think she's 5'4".
Yeah.
I think she's 5'4".
Yeah. And,
And
he's a million.
He's 6'10",
Yeah.
and she's like in shape. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she's like a 5'4", like not like CrossFit in shape. Like she does work out and stuff, but she's
Yeah.
more like just in shape. Like if
Yeah.
you met her, you'd be like, oh, she's in shape.
Right.
Yeah. And
She
then,
does stuff.
And then he's 6'10" and one of the top 4 strongmen in the world.
Yeah.
And she just looks like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, like, I just think being a girl, like, it's just funny, you know. Like, I've never been a girl in this lifetime, obviously, but I just think it's funny when you're out and you're like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want someone that could literally put me through a wall.
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna be sweet. Eddie Hall's wife talks about it on there. She's like, you know, it's funny being with a strong man in bed because like you can't get your legs around him because he's just fucking giant.
Yeah.
She's like, and there's some kind of limitation. She's like, but there's good parts to it too. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, get it, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right.
Yeah, Brian Shaw and his wife said the same thing. They
Yeah.
did an interview, and one of them was obviously, "What's sex life like?" And they're both like, "It's great."
It's meaty.
Yeah.
It's meaty. Very meaty.
Anyways.
Yeah. So back to the pursuit of excellence.
Yeah.
So this week, I did the league. It went the way that it went, whatever. But we did get in 3 workouts, and I tried to approach. I had a great talk with Phil DeLeone. Great talk with him a couple nights ago. And we were talking about like process of progress and moving forward and doing all this stuff and like getting to where you want to get to. And it was a really interesting talk. I know you're riding with him to MVP.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Always had a lot of respect for him. Always really like him as a person. The
Mhm.
one thing that I really, really like about him is like he is the person to address something that's wrong right when it's wrong.
Yeah.
Where like I am, and I don't know about you, I think you're the same as me. Like I'm a big like, let's just keep the positive like thing going and like keep the
Yeah.
peace. And then like afterward, I'll be like grinded out by like this dude.
Mhm.
And then I get in the car and I'm like, that dude sucked.
Yeah.
We're like, second instance of said bad behavior takes place. Phil's the guy that's like, hey man, are you gonna fucking stop doing that or what?
Yeah.
And you're like, damn dude, that was awesome. Like he just doesn't, you know.
Yeah.
He's obviously a guy that grew up playing like team sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like, you know, like we were talking about before, like when you get in that like
Yeah.
attitude, and when you're on a team sport, your teammates like, why don't you shut the fuck up and start doing your job?
Yeah.
You know. And
Yeah. It's hard though. Like I grew up playing soccer, so like not that I have zero experience,
yeah,
but also in the sense of disc golf versus soccer team,
yeah,
and then just like solo. So like I don't know, but either way, I am the same way. We've talked about it
Yeah.
however many times, and it's like internal battle type deal. And how can I manage this for
Yeah.
myself or whatever?
yeah. I played team sports, so I grew up playing soccer, and I was just really good at soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I never really had to deal with anybody else. It
Yeah.
was literally like, I would just score all the time.
Mhm.
Like it was like little kid soccer, but like
Yeah.
I would just score all the time. So
Mhm.
we would just win,
Yeah.
and like the rest of the team could totally fucking blow.
yeah.
And like I would score however many goals it was until it got weird, and then they would put me in the goal, and I'd play goalie for the rest of the game, like
Yeah.
just not to run up the score or whatever it is.
yeah.
So like there was never bitching at anybody.
Yeah. Is 17 enough? Yeah. Get in the fucking net.
We were all
Yeah.
just like happy all the time. We
Yeah.
were like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then when I played basketball, I was a huge pussy because I had already like I had to stop playing soccer because I bent my knee backwards. Total cheap shot. Kid fucked me up. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd like sprained my ankle a couple times, whatever. But I knew serious injury at a very young age. So
Yeah.
like basketball, the idea of like I'm gonna drive to the hole and there's all these feet to land on and like things to happen after I like blew out my ankle like twice. By the time I was in like 7th grade, I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
So I was a really good outside shooter. But I was also just kind of like a class clown.
Yeah.
So I'm not the guy at practice like,
Surprise.
come on guys, let's get this together.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that they're like, Darren, what the fuck? And I'm like, you know, so
Someone rope Darren in, please.
yeah,
Like-
where are you? And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh," you know, so I was never that guy's kind of like a coach's nightmare because I like
Yeah.
had like a very specific skill set that I was very, very good at. But then I would also just like detract from practice all the time because I'm like joking around and whatever.
Yeah.
So it definitely got in my way of being successful in basketball.
Yeah.
They would just bench me because I just couldn't shut the fuck up.
Go to your hole.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have that in me. I don't have that natural like hey man, you gonna shape up or what type of situation. But he does, and I really appreciate it with him.
Yeah.
But I had a great talk with him about like, the process of getting good. We were talking about mental game. We were talking about like what it takes to be really good and like his process and what he's gone through and where he's at and whatever. And then he was like, we're talking about like my shit and all this. And yeah, just kind of like made me feel good. I was like, all right, cool. Like someone else gets it. Someone else is on the same page. Him and I share a lot of similar views about a lot of stuff. And I was like, cool. Like it just like made me feel, I was like, sweet. Yeah. All right. You get it. And then he tagged me in a video the next day about like Tony Hawk. And Tony Hawk's like in a camper with his family, going across country, stopping at skate parks, skating.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the same thing. Like when we were talking about Paul, like having the Seinfeld vision of like, I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to get really good at this. And it's going to turn into what I want it to turn into. And Tony Hawk's basically saying the same thing. And he's like, yeah, this and that is what we were talking about. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Like truth is true. That's why it's the truth. And I find it interesting that when you talk to any number of people who have like really been at the summit of their thing, whatever it is, that a lot of the stuff that they say is the same.
Yeah.
Like they're saying the same stuff.
Yeah. One of them is very similar is I don't know why, Travis Barker from Blink-182, the drummer. Yeah. He was the same way. Where it was, I forget, I think it was on
First of all, he's
Rogan.
He's one of the coolest fucking people going.
Yeah. But at one point he was just, I don't care if I'm making money or not. All I knew is that I just wanted to like play music, play drums, whatever, and that was it. And I'll be like, success.
So Sarah Sigmund's daughter at the when they were doing the Fittest in Dubai for 2019, like there's a lot of money because it's Dubai. So I don't know if you know about Dubai.
Not like Sarah Sigmund's daughter,
right?
Sigmund's daughter,
right? That's the last name. It's like this long. And if you know anything about CrossFit chicks, you know who she is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were interviewing her. And so like Dubai, because it's Dubai and their whole thing is like, we have way more money than you do. So everything is like super extravagant, super fucking crazy. Like they built that city.
Yeah.
Like they're like, we're going to make this extravagant city here. And they did.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most luxurious cities, if not the most luxurious city on the planet.
Yeah.
So everything's bigger there. And they just have a shit ton of oil money. So the guy that's putting it on, they are not the guy, but one of the representatives of the group that's putting it on, they give money per event, which other places do not. So if you just win an event, you get $3,000. Second event, you get $2,000. Third event, you get $1,000. And then the prize money for the thing overall is gigantic. So he was saying, even if you come here and you get last place, you still get $1,500.
Really?
At least.
Yeah.
And he said, because we think it's important. This is the person putting on the event. We think it's important that you're a professional athlete and you should be able to just be a professional athlete and that you should make money doing it so that way you can continue to just try to be the best that you can be, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy putting on the event.
Yeah.
That's not a sponsor. That's not like an athlete. That's the guy like actually putting on the event.
Right.
And he's like, we want the best to come here. We want them to compete here. We want the, like Dubai to represent itself well of being like a place that people want to go. And then it will grow and people will continue to come here. And then we will be able to watch the best in the world all the time. And people will look forward to coming here.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about running disc golf tournaments?
Yeah. Seriously.
I know you guys don't have any trees over there, but
yeah.
So they were talking about it, and then on the final event they did a 10-time multiplier. So if you won the final event, you got $30,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Shockingly enough, Matt Frazier won because he wins everything.
Mm-hmm.
But they were interviewing Sarah Sigmund's daughter, and she was like, I do this because I want to show like what I can do, and also to show all the other girls out there, like if you really dedicate yourself to something and you really work hard, like how far you can go in it. She's like, I don't care about the money. I'm probably one of the only people in this sport that like, it has nothing to do with money. It just has to do with like showing what I can do and how far I can go.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like that's really cool. And that's what's going to drive you to get up every day and just get yoked.
Yeah. Seriously.
Because at a certain point, like once you get enough money, then, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like Simon wants to be a great disc golfer.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have it in him to want to be like a 5-time champ.
Yeah.
Because right now he's like, well, YouTube's good. This other stuff's good. Like, so then you're in it to be successful. You're not in it to like be a champ.
Yeah. Different version of success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different version of success.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But this week, I tried to do more of like what we talked about. Like I didn't do the ping pong balls, but I tried to do like on a daily, or at least an almost daily basis of like working on some kind of skill set
Mm-hmm.
other than like moving heavy stuff and making myself sleep a lot.
Yeah.
So I was doing
Yeah.
forehand zones the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that like the zone that I throw is a little bit less stable than what I want.
That blue ESP one.
The blue ESP
Yeah.
one. So I'm gonna probably switch that out for a Z.
Yeah.
And I was working on kind of that thing of like coming from up and then like really snapping it through,
Yeah.
just with the zone, because one, I don't have to chase it as far, and it's not going to be all super crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you go out to the field here?
yeah,
Yeah.
just next to the house.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was cool. It felt a lot more like pitching
Mm-hmm.
than like this weirdness that I get into when I'm throwing a frisbee.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's this whole other crazy thing instead of all the other throwing, you know. So yeah, I was gunning them, and it was really cool. It was really like, it felt good for the first 40 throws. I just kept throwing them too low,
Mm-hmm.
and then once I started getting them in the air, then I realized like I'm not letting them go on enough hyzer, because I was just trying to let them go flat. And those ESP ones, when they come out flat, then they just go. And then
Yeah.
they go to the
Well,
ground.
the thing I noticed about those ESP ones is that they're not as flat as normal. Like they actually, I'd argue to say that it's not a dome,
Yeah,
but it's got like something where a pocket of air can be underneath it.
yeah,
For sure, instead of it being just a board.
yeah. So I have a really old Z Glow one that's like almost a puddle top, and
Yeah.
that thing was the jam.
Yeah.
Because even like full tilt rip on that, like it would just turn up.
Mm-hmm.
And the Z one was pretty good with that. And then the old ESP Glow ones were a little bit less. And then the regular ESPs would like, it's just harder to control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's harder to like, there's more shit to deal with. So maybe on like a touch, you know, I'm trying to do like a touch Anheuser shot up or something like that. Those might be good but I'm not going to carry a disc for those two shots.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll probably switch the zone in my bag.
Yeah.
You know, because I like being able to. The reason why I have a hard time, like whenever we have like a longer shot, I always throw my Buzz West forehand,
Mm-hmm.
because I have confidence in it and I know like it's gonna do what I want it to do. And my zone's always kind of like, but I just thought it was me throwing a zone. And I was
Mhm.
like, well, I'm just not good at throwing a zone. But I think it's more of it lacks a little bit of stability.
Yeah.
So I did that, did some putting. It's interesting, the last rounds that I've played, my putting's been pretty good. But when I went to practice putting, it was horrible.
Really?
It was so bad. It was so bad. Not like discouraging or anything, because it's just practice. And, you know, like I went out in the
Yeah.
field, so that way there's actual wind. I'm not in my yard where it's kind of closed off. Went in the middle of the field. Well, not in the middle, but I went in an open part of the field. And then was practice putting. I started at like 15 feet and then went back like every, I don't know, 6 feet, 7 feet, something like that. I just walked it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to start, like I took 4 putters. I was like, if I make all 4, I'll move to the next station. And then as long as I make 2, I'll at least stay at that station. And once I make 4, I'll move back. And it took me a while to get to like the third mini.
Really?
Like a while. Yeah. Because I
What
couldn't.
were your misses? Like low, potato hand?
No. High and left is my miss.
Okay.
Like I'm at least missing the same way
Yeah.
almost all the time. Even on the
Okay.
course when I went to help Jake on Saturday and then we played a little bit at Star, my misses are all either left or like high over the basket going left.
Okay.
So I actually had some success with the run it one that I have, that like one that I use for upshots, the flippier one.
Yeah.
I had a lot of success farther out with that, because it kind of like doesn't fall as hard left. So the difference is I switched my grip from having my finger on the rim
Mm-hmm.
or in the rim to having it on the outside. So I'm getting
Yeah.
less spin on the disc. So before, where the disc would hold straight, it now like falls.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to make that adjustment. And I guess until I practiced, like I was just throwing it to the middle. You know what I mean? Like keep the disc flat, try not to let it go on hyzer, and throw it into the middle. And where I'd miss is when I wouldn't get the disc flat enough. And then I'm trying to throw it more like you pitch
Mm-hmm.
when you putt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pitch putt.
yeah. So I'm throwing a pitch putt, but I'm trying to throw it on like a spin putt line,
Yeah.
which I realized when I was out there,
Yeah.
which is why then I like nose up it and sky it. Cause I'm either trying to like drill it in there
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know. It kind of clicked with me later on of like, no, it's more like I just need more arc to get it there and trust that it's going to like come down,
Yeah.
you know? So once I started doing that, I got better. And then like making sure like I'm letting it go at least on flat
Mm-hmm.
and aiming a little bit to the right and just like figuring it out. Cause like since I switched my grip, I tried practicing a few times, but I guess it wasn't very dialed in. I was just out there throwing putters around
Yeah.
somewhere else in my mind. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it wasn't like I didn't figure any of that out when I went and did it. I just threw a bunch of putts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I missed those. Oh, I made those. Like I wasn't getting, you know what I mean? I wasn't gaining any data.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it felt good. I feel like I addressed a couple of things that are a little lacking.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Hopefully we can move forward and do some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I know my putting lately has been feeling great. I know when we last played, we went to Spindler.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And,
We went for Rain Round Part 2.
oh my God.
Shockingly enough, 1, I don't have the Peter Weber, so you know what happened. But 2, it didn't really rain again.
Yeah. Well, anyways, my putting was feeling great that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went out to Spindler to play a practice rain round again.
Yep.
And it was like, I don't know, we got there at 5:30 or whatever it was. And it was like 70% chance starting at 6 or 7,
Yep.
somewhere in there. And so I was like, I guess we're just playing until it starts raining. And then like we're never far enough away from the cars to like, it's too far to get our stuff. So we played the full 24.
Full 20.
Started getting like
Yeah.
dark and like rain looky it sprinkled a couple times or whatever, and we're on hole 1, and then it started like raining a little bit more, so we like run to the car, get
This
our
is
jackets on. Yeah, we're like legitimately excited to play in the rain round, and tee off on 1.
It's
yeah.
raining.
Yeah, it's raining. Finish hole 1, and by the time we're like before we're putting, it's like done raining.
Yeah. Well, it had stopped. We didn't know that it was done.
Yeah, it had stopped
Turns
raining.
out.
Okay. We played all the way up till 12. And like we're joking the whole time. Like it's just gonna rain like more
As soon as it's dark.
as soon as it's dark,
And we're
and
gonna
then we
drive
get to
home.
the car.
Yep.
And that's literally exactly what happened.
Yep.
By the time it started raining more, or it started raining as we finished hole 12, and it's just like pitch black.
Yep.
And then we get into the car, and as we're in the car, it's downpouring.
Downpour.
Yes.
Full storm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I, like you, I think, we're in the same mindset of what in the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and then also laughing, like, we're trying to play in, like, shitty
I'm
conditions.
pissed that it's not raining. I was
Yes.
legitimately
Yeah.
pissed off because I was
Yeah.
like, I can't believe it's not raining
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was just, then it just became another hot, sweaty round.
But the funniest thing is, so there's a lady that works at the park that's like cleaning up the park, and she's at hole 2's tee pad, like cleaning up stuff, and it had like
Yeah.
rained, but had kind of just stopped. I had my umbrella out because I had like the shit clipped to the umbrella and
Yeah.
whatever were there, and she's like, "Man, you guys are dedicated to play in the rain." And it was like, we came out here because it was gonna rain, and we were
Yeah.
trying to explain it to her, and the look on her face was like,
I don't get it.
"You guys are fucking crazy."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like there's people in the park like scrambling around like
Yeah.
pissing on themselves and
Yeah.
whatever. Like
The one dude, like, he's out there practicing guitar. He, like, gets all his stuff. He's like, I got here, take this. Gotta go.
yeah, we're the crazy ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it just couldn't rain. And also I learned that the Pro D Undertaker into a tree at high speed does cause damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing took a hit. Didn't really affect the flight.
Big
but
old chunk.
Yeah, it chunked right up. So that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so we tried to do another rain round.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
We tried.
We tried. It
Yeah.
didn't work. We did have some nice shots, though. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, maybe we just get a spray bottle. Like just a couple sprays each.
Yeah.
Something. So instead of just whatever, we don't have to carry around a bucket.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's going to rain.
Yeah.
Like I
it
believe,
has to. It's
I believe.
yeah.
I believe that one day we will be able to play a round intentionally in the rain.
Yeah. I mean, it rained technically yesterday/today,
Yeah.
but it was also like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. No, it's hot. It's scared of us. It keeps sneaking the rain in the dark.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
asleep. All right, go.
Go. Let's
Yeah,
rain.
yeah.
Yeah. And I've said many horrible things about Mother Nature that I
Yeah.
didn't really mean, but I'm just trying to provoke her into a nice storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it. Come on.
Just bring it.
Come on.
Yeah.
How hard can it be?
How hard can it be? What's the problem? What's the worst that
Yeah.
could happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Well, we brought our carts
Yeah.
to the table today.
Yeah, because we figured that like an in the bag would be
Yeah.
sweet.
In the bag.
But we got carts, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be an in our cart.
In stuff. Yeah. So
And then we're just gonna talk about like why we throw what we throw,
Yeah.
and what we look for.
how we put together a set, what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Let's have you go first.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go off camera for a
That's
second.
fine. I'll be right here. Should we make some room over here? Where are you gonna put it? Okay. All right. Oh, front and center. That's what she said. You know it's serious when he almost pops a vessel picking this thing.
How's that?
Wait, let's go.
All right, so this is my cart. It's over engineered, I know. It's kind of my style. That's what it is. But I have
Yeah.
everything that I need.
Yeah, this thing literally screams Darren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is, and it's funny when people say stuff to me about it. When they're like, "Oh, you got blah blah blah" or whatever, and I'm just like, "Yeah."
Do you even know me?
Do you know me? Do you know who
Yeah.
I am? So yeah, let's do this. I've never done this before in my life, so if I suck at it, it is what it is.
Hey,
But-
it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just go through all the discs, then we'll go through all the extra fun stuff. It's gonna be a good
All right,
time.
let me
Yeah.
adjust this.
Oh yeah.
Come to me. Oh, this
Yes.
is nice.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so there I am, right? I'm like I'm doing stand up. We're walking to this bar, and this girl's like, I'm like, oh. All right. So anyways, let's start. So this year, well, I don't know, last 2 months maybe, I started
Yeah.
putting with Fierce's.
Yes.
So this year I switched to a Discraft bag, just to try it, and I was also going to try to move towards trying to get sponsored and whatever. But the other part of that, besides doing the disc golf, is having social media presence, which I just don't like doing. So I haven't done that.
Yeah.
But I did switch to Discraft bag just to try
Yeah.
it out. All the years I've played, as we've talked about in the podcast before, I've never really like tried to do a single manufacturer, and I really liked the intellectual challenge of it.
Yeah.
And I figured that this year doesn't really matter anyways, because I don't know how many tournaments I'm going to play. I don't know what's going on. So I figured this would be the year to do it. So I started with the Challengers, which I used to putt with, but they didn't work for me. So then I tried the Fierce. Fierce has worked, and I've just been adjusting to them, and it's gone well. So these
Yeah.
are my two putting Fierces that I use.
Ooh.
Oh shit! They're just
Oh
regular.
man.
They're
They're not
Proto.
$80.
these are the proto ones. And I got little arrows on them from golf. Like in
Yeah.
golf, you have the little line. And then I also wrote on them like, "You've got this," just for that last second kind of mental like. All right, cool.
You've got this.
Right, like just like one breath, like cool, we got it.
Yeah.
And then this is actually Doodle Dandy. It's got the American flag on it, and I bought it on 4th of July weekend. And this also is a prototype one, and I write "run it" on it because this is one that I use for upshots,
Yeah.
and I really only use this when we're going to try to give it a bid.
Yeah.
I also think I'm going to use that for longer putts.
Yeah. Makes sense. Oh. It's packed full. You can trust.
Next three. So I just have a regular run, Fierce, and I use this one for off the tee.
Yes.
So when I need it to like go straight, fall, hit the basket, but not go in,
Yeah.
this is that one. And I like this, and then eventually this will be what run it is, and we'll have like two of those.
Yeah. So
that'll-
that's basically putter, but like understable.
yeah, it's understable upshot.
Yes.
And then this is Mr. Pink. It's a titanium Challenger, and it's for neutral shots. I use this the most for my upshots because I can get it to hold a little bit of a hyzer. I can get it to hold a little bit to the right.
Mm-hmm.
I can throw it straight. I use it off the tee. Really good feel. Hated this disc forever. And then this time around came to it, and I love it. And I lean on this like probably more than anything. Like Mr. Pink will get it done.
Yeah.
He's the guy. His partner in crime, Rocco.
Who's been referenced so many times now.
So nasty. He is a fucking champ. So this
Yeah.
disc flies exactly how I think it's going to fly,
Yeah.
which is like bizarre because you've seen me hit a couple with it now of like literally I just stand there and like I just don't even have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just throw it and it does it. So I've hit like a few like really nice like high hyzer
The highest hyzers.
up shots like into the fucking basket,
Yeah.
like throw-ins and whatever.
Oh, it's great.
I love it because it doesn't skip. It's basically the same stability as a zone, but it just sits down.
Yeah.
This replaced. I used to have a Jokery that I used for this, and this replaced it. Love this thing. It's fantastic. This is my zone that I'm currently using. Super. Whoa. I don't know. There's some dome to it.
Is it Pop Toppy?
I'm gonna almost. I'm gonna switch this out probably for a different zone, but this is the one that I've been using. So it's my small city. I'm definitely in my zone. Shout out to Kanye, and yeah, it's good. I use it for forehands, and I'll use it for upshots when I need to skip. I'll also try to use it for like flex lines, but I'm definitely excited to use one that's a little bit more stable than this because I think that'll be sweet. Because what I want it to do, I think, is a little bit more stable than what it is.
Right.
Mids, I carry 5. I'll probably carry less in the future at some point, but for right now, I really like all 5 of these discs, and I use all 5 of them pretty well. So this is ESP Meteor I just got. Still has a price tag on it.
Shout out CJ's?
Yes, shout out CJ's. Flies exactly how I think. It's good flip ups, or I can hold it on Annie. Buzz SS, the Super Stud, straight, or I can get it to like hold a little bit to the right, maybe even go a little bit left. I really like this. I have a lot of success with this guy. Big Z Buzz, just switched to this year. Before I was throwing the Buzz GT, and I like this.
Probably one like the 1%ers that throw Buzz
Yeah, but
GTs.
I have big hands.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, same difference. Whatever.
This guy I like better because I have more control with it and I can do more stuff with it.
Yeah.
Best wasps ever made. The Z Glow, Z Glow wasp. I bought all of these.
Yeah.
So when I
At least all the ones that you could find.
Yeah, when I threw one, I was like, that's it. I've been looking for this wasp for a long time. And then once it flew the way that it flew, I literally just like drove all over the place, bought everybody's that I could.
Yeah.
And I have them. So I got an ace with one. This one.
There it is.
I throw it in. I
Yeah.
won a tournament with this with like a 280-foot throw in. But then
Really?
then I got an ace with it, and I retired it. So then I put next man up for this guy. So he's ready. He does a lot of work for me. I did a touch forehand shot with him first time ever at Hudson, and it worked like a champ.
Nice.
Stood up through a double crotch chop. It was epic. So this is first run Buzz OS. I use it when I need a little bit more than that guy, and I also use this a lot for forehand upshots. I like it. It's wonderful.
That's a good B.
Yeah. Let's go fairway drivers. This is the infamous $2 XL Magnum. Fantastic. Hyzer flips, Annie shots, whatever. He's flippy. This is the Elite Z. It never belonged to a different guy whose phone number I just wrote over. This is great. It's stable for an XL, so it's very much like a straight. Like I throw this at hunts. Like this is the one that I was actually throwing.
What is it in comparison to the other XL? Is it slightly more stable?
It's more stable. It's not
Just
like slightly.
more.
Yeah. So this is the one that I threw on the tunnel shot on hole 9 at hunts when it was raining. This was the one that I would lean on.
Gotcha.
So this one I can really work. Like this is really workable. I can like Annie whatever or keep it and throw a hyzer with it. I just like that one because I can do like a little bit more with hyzer flips and shit when I got tight lines.
Yeah.
So, but this I use a lot. Then I have Pipe Daddy. Pipe Daddy, stability-wise, is pretty similar to that one. It's just a little bit faster, and I feel like this can actually hold a little bit more stable line. Like it can take a little bit more put on it and still hold it.
Yeah.
So I haven't so much lately because I've been trying to figure out my other discs, but I use this quite a bit when I'm actually like not trying to figure something else out.
Right.
Like I'm just throwing all the shots that I want to throw. I throw this a lot. So it's a Pipeline DGA. This is a Sparkle one, so it's more on the stable side of theirs. This one's actually pretty stiff. So I like it. It's good stability. And then I have 2 Raptors. Shout out Pinky. He gave me this Raptor. It's got a camo stamp on it. It's a first run. It's very stable, but not very stable for first runs. The other first run I had was like comically stable and almost unworkable, but this one isn't very good. I use it mostly for forehands and thumbers.
Is that one slightly domier than the other one?
It's very close. They're probably the same.
Okay.
Tour Series Raptor, Will Goringer. So shout out to him. I love this thing. It's great. It's less stable than the first run. Very workable. I use it like a stable fairway driver. I use it for forehands. It's good.
Yeah. So like at the end, it'll bite hard. It just it'll flex more.
It doesn't really even bite that hard.
Yeah.
It's more like it's similar to an Annex.
Okay.
Like it'll just go straight and then fade over. I can even like hold it over this way and it'll fight out of it a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
so.
He meant Onyx too.
Whatever.
For those who
This is my
are
spirit.
gonna worry about it.
Spirit animal in my bag.
Yeah. That's the one that we
2008.
talked about.
Yeah, this is it. Not very stable, very workable. I can do a lot of stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Rogue. This is a Surge. I just put this one in my bag. Super stable Surge. So this one, if I need something to like really bite over or whatever, also for thumbers, I like this.
Oh.
Proto Hades.
Shit.
It's the Darren Harrison. Paul Macbeth doesn't own this disc
Yeah.
at all. So I put my
Not even a little bit.
I put my name on it. If he wants it, come at me.
Yeah.
And then I wrote I flip because for some reason, like I kept getting like false confidence in this disc. Like this time it's gonna hold.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a tailwind. It's not gonna flip over on me.
Yeah.
And then I just kept paying taxes on it. And
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that.
Because every time you do that, it would flip.
It would flip.
Yeah.
So I just wrote I flip on it. So for tunnel shots, fantastic. If I need a late break right, this is good because I can let it go and it'll like slowly just continue to turn over and then I can get like a late Annie out of it.
Yeah.
Very similar disc to that, but more stable. This is going to be an ESP Thrasher.
Yes.
So I've heard that these fly like the test flight Hades, almost exactly, but these are very much cheaper.
Yeah.
I use this a lot. This is probably the driver that I use the most because I find it to be very workable. It translates a lot to the more hyzer I put on it on the tee, dictates kind of like where it ends up. So I can play like a long S. I can play like kind of a straight to fade shot. It's very workable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just for some reason, it's a touchy disc. Like I'm not saying that it's not. It is a touchy disc.
Yeah.
But since I've changed my form, my confidence in being able to execute the touchy has gone down. So this disc has probably cost me
Couple strokes.
couple of strokes because I just like I don't have the confidence in throwing it since I switched stuff up. But for the most part, this disc does very, very well for me. And then I have a multi-stamp Zeus. So it had two. I got this from Amnats a few years ago. It's a first run. So they had 2 stamps on it. So then like I put like 20 of my stamps on it because I'm not going to be outdone by the factory. So that's that. It's a lighter one. It's 167. It's also out of all the, I have 4 Zeuses, but out of the 4 that I have, this one has the most dome. And I like the way that it flies. I don't know if it's a little bit of the lightweight, but it seems more workable than the other ones. It also seems like it's got a lot of glide to it, and I can kind of rip this out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the newest, one of the newest members of the bag. This is the
new to the bag, not new to being a disc.
No. So this is the Play It Again Force. So I got this from Play It Again Sports. It's a 170 gram ESP Force. But as you can see, it's not a Force. It's the Creamsicle. So it does not fly like a Force. It flies more like a fast Surge.
Yeah.
And not the stable Surge either.
No.
So I keep dedicating myself to like figuring this disc out during competition, and I don't know why, but I just can't. I love it.
You just want to throw it.
I love it. Like
Yeah.
I love throwing it. I just don't have it quite dialed in yet. So not in a headwind at this point. I pretty much have it dialed in.
Yeah.
In a headwind, I'm just not going to throw it because I keep thinking like, if I do this, if I do that, and it won't
Yeah.
do it. But I've gotten some really good rips out of this. It's very workable. It gets really good distance. It's very comfortable in my hand. I like it. A real life Force, the Use the Force, the Hannum Tour Series. It's not a meat hook. It's not a scratchy Force, but it's got a good stability for me that I can count on it to do what I think it's going to do, and it flies like a Force very much. So that's that. And then to my like utility disc, obviously, Machete. No set's complete without it. I do machete things with it, thumbers and whatnot. It helps get me out of trouble.
Overstable stuff.
Yeah.
Things.
So these are the like really like kind of like my longest range discs. This is a Crank SS, the WTF Do You Think I Do? I also put the flight path on it here. So I don't forget. I got this, and I was like I knew what it was going to do. And then every once in a while, like similar to the flip thing, I think like, oh, it's going to do this other stuff. But in reality, like, no.
Yeah.
When we were at Bald, like, I threw it on a straight hyzer all the way to the left, and it would just climb the ladder, come all the way over, and then
Yep.
dive to the right. So it's very useful for a lot of shots. But I just need to remind myself when I'm getting ready to throw it that, like, it's still going to even flip more than I think it's going to.
Yeah.
But
Because
I've had some great shots with it because it's a crank SS, and that's what they do. Titanium crank, self-explanatory. This is a disc that I can throw the farthest. I've thrown all my cranks a bunch of times, and this is always the one that goes the farthest. So it's in the bag. I'm still not 100% comfortable with it. And then the Torrent I just got, stable, fast, and it works. I just I have to get used to where the breaking point is if I turn it over, like if I throw it on a flex. But the times that I've thrown it, it just goes.
Yeah.
So that's
So for the type of thrower you are,
yes.
what do you look for in a disc specifically? Because like here, it's a lot of like, for the most part, neutrally ish for faster discs and slower, more overstable, like across the board. I feel like
So
if you had a go-to for putter, mid-range, fairway, and distance driver, in like
So
any like you're like in between what you're gonna throw or whatever,
yep.
what would you lean on that you feel the most comfortable with or that you enjoy throwing the most?
So my go-to on my putters, Mr. Pink,
Mm-hmm.
neutral to understable.
Yeah.
My go-to on my mid would be my Wasp, which
Yeah.
is stable to overstable.
Yeah.
My go-to on my fairway driver would probably be, if I had to do everything with it, either the XL or the Pipeline, so probably understable.
Mhm.
Driver-wise, understable, Thrasher, and then distance-wise, probably, also the Crank, so understable.
Okay.
But I'm moving in my game in a direction that is using more stable stuff, like starting to throw more over the line on like a flex line or
Gotcha.
anything
Don't
like
take
that.
it off yet.
Oh, sorry.
We have more stuff to talk about.
I have to pee.
Oh my god.
It's the standing.
Whatever the excuse is. He's peeing. Oh, how is peeing gaining anything? You're technically losing stuff.
No, because I'm drinking a protein shake.
Yeah, but now things are exiting your body. There's so many things on your cart. I hope everyone enjoyed their pee break too.
Much more comfortable.
Good.
Okay.
So
So-
why so much shit on your cart? Like
Um,
what are we all looking at and why?
So if we spin it,
Yeah.
so I have a Discraft little like whatever this thing's called in here.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I'm doing like upshots or something, anytime Mr. Pink comes out, I just carry this around
Okay.
because it's just soothing to me. I don't know how much it actually dries my hand or not,
Yeah.
but it's like
If
just
it's even doing anything.
just having it in my hand, carrying it around,
Yeah.
makes me feel good.
Yes.
So on the backside,
There's a couple things.
I have this mitten bag, which is on one of those like retractable things.
Yeah.
So I don't lose it because as we covered last time, like I lost 4 mitten bags very rapidly.
Yeah.
And then I have another mitten bag kind of in the middle here on a clip. This is the one that I use.
Yeah.
So I'll unclip it and use it.
What's the difference? Like, what's the process behind having the two there?
So in case I lose one, I
Yeah.
still have one.
But why is that one on retractable and then the other one is just the one you use?
So
It's
this one is just a backup.
Okay.
I have it on the retractable because I thought it was a cool idea, and
Yeah.
Will and I each got one. So,
Yeah.
but basically it's the same as the clip. Like it just sits on that, and it's just
Okay.
kind of tucked in here,
Yeah.
and it's in case I lose the other one, and then I rotate them so one doesn't get all used up and the other one's all beat up.
Gotcha.
And then I obviously have my towels here. This is to get the shit off. These are the luxury.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are magic.
Easy.
Uh,
And then I have my little broom holder here. I have an extendable broom that I carry around.
because T-pads
Yeah.
can be dicey.
Yeah, and sweeping T-pads gives me one less thing to worry about. I'm
Yeah.
not worried about slipping or my knee going out or something like that.
Right.
On the backside here, I have my rangefinder. I'm old school because I've had a rangefinder for like 4 years. This one is in yards.
Yeah. Bushnell just released their
Yeah, in
disc golf
feet.
one yesterday.
Oh, they released it yesterday?
It's
Oh, okay.
$150.
That's not bad.
No.
So this is like a deluxe one. This one was much more than that. And then
Yeah.
I have my cigarettes, which I smoke while I play sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I have my Nico chalk bag here.
Yeah. Shout out Nico.
with the little T-Rex, unstoppable. My phone holder, so that way I can like play my jams, and then I have two bottle holders.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that much to me. Like it really doesn't.
Yeah. It's just busy.
Yeah, it's just kind of busy. It's
Yeah.
definitely over-engineered. I like
I mean, whatever.
I like it looking tight.
Hey, you do you.
So
Yeah, I mean, to the average like or casual player, it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But like for somebody who's playing tournaments and everything, like it makes sense.
yeah, the only thing with it is the bearings on the wheels have kind of gone.
Kind of.
Yeah, well they're gone.
Oh, okay.
So it squeaks, and then it also is just kind of not the easiest to pull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because as we found out, it's all the weights at the bottom.
yeah.
Like more at the bottom
Well, it was-
versus like dispersed.
Yeah, and also I used to keep the handle shorter because for some reason I thought that it would make it better. But I found like if I have the handle taller,
Mm-hmm.
it makes the weight easier on me to pull.
Okay.
So I don't mind the weight of it. When I usually keep 2 bottles in here for drinks, a bottle on the side for a drink, and then a bottle in the back for drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I carry 4 bottles because I usually play like a lot. Like I'll go out and play like a couple rounds or 3 rounds or whatever. But then during a tournament, I'll carry a few bottles because I have different shit.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them has like pre-workout in it. One of them has like water, and then 2 of them will have like Gatorade or Body Armor or whatever it is that
Yeah.
I'm drinking. So I like having the ability to. Sometimes I just need water.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want Gatorade or something like that. And then sometimes I need like to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I like having like the pre-workout and stuff. So, you know,
Makes sense.
yeah, options out there. And then underneath, sometimes
Yeah.
I'll have like backup discs, or if I'm trying out a new disc or something like that, I'll do it.
That's where it goes.
That's where that goes. Or if I
Yeah.
have a sweatshirt or backup towels or something.
Whichever.
Yeah. So that's
How much do you like the Delta cart?
I love the Delta cart.
Yeah.
I love that they had it in red camo.
Yeah.
So when I got the Red Wings bag originally, the inside of the pockets was going to be red camo.
Really?
And then he couldn't find red camo. So then I had my friend make paisley out of the Red Wing symbol, and then we
Mhm.
just did the paisley all inside the pockets, which turned out
Yeah.
much nicer than red camo.
Yeah.
But I wanted the red camo. So when I saw this in red camo, I was like, well, that's what I want.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
shoe in.
Yeah, I really like the Delta cart. There's things, obviously, like I talked to you about, like I want to make a cart that I would change. So the seat on it for me is pretty much useless because it's so low to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to flip this over to use the seat. Like I'd much rather have that and then just have the opening on the front to get my discs and get at my stuff. I don't like that this stuff is in the back because I feel like the weight being farther out from the wheels makes it heavier to carry. I don't know exactly like if you like I would just make it differently if it
Yeah.
was me. But I've really loved this cart and I really love using it. I just think if I were to design one ultimately, I would want like this to be taller so when I sit down I'm comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
not have to flip something so that I can sit and flip something so that way I can use the disc, just be able to do both at the same time. And then I would obviously like reorganize the stuff part of it so I don't have to, so it's not as busy as it is.
Yeah. There'd probably be better places for the stuff and things to go so it's not so busy or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
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 Things.
Cool. So that's my cart.
Nice cart.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it. Oh. Oh yeah. Stop it. This is just going to be a standing podcast now. What? That can be another one of the awkward ones where we're just standing the whole time.
Just awkwardly standing,
Yeah.
staring at each other.
Yeah. So this is my cart. It's much taller and not as cumbersome as Darren's, I feel like. But I also like, I don't know. It's great for what it is,
Yes.
but I don't like that it's just so top heavy. So like I've had it yard sale I don't know how many times at this point.
Yeah.
But anyways, I have an excess amount of discs in here just because I'm allowed to with how much room
Yes.
is in here. So let's just get the top row out. So mine, these are the best driving putters I've ever personally thrown. These are Mercy's, so I got like the retro one, this is the replacement for yellow.
Yes.
We've talked about yellow Mercy, Lamborghini, whatever, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Recently lost to my Ledgestone. Rip. Do the thing. Do the whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this is the replacement for that.
So that's your understable.
That's understable.
driving
So
putter.
yeah, I literally throw it on like hyzer flat, and I trust it to ride right It's amazing. And then these ones are Opto ones, which are, for whatever reason, like never thrown by anybody else. The only other people that I know that throw them is Dan and Kyle.
Yeah.
That's it. But like they're stable to like kind of overstable depending on the angle. But I can like throw these as hard as I want.
Yes.
Like even at like especially this moonshine one, it's got like a little extra beef, I guess, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I can throw in a little Annie and I can hammer on it and it'll just pop out a little ride flat, go forever. It's sweet.
Yeah. It's frustrating to play against.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I recently got a couple zones from you. Well, I had this green one. I had a couple orange ones from you.
Yep.
I used to throw harps and I wanted to mess around with zones because it's really weird. So throwing sidearm, I like flat things,
Yes.
which I think most people like anyways. But throwing harps, I didn't like how they felt in my hand so much, at least at the time. So like tournament or VIP, champ and star, they had like a different stability to them. So a lot of the times it was the baseline stuff, so medium and hard plastics. But that also beats up not stability wise, but just hand feel. Like I've retired harps that still flew like brand new, looked like they were 10 years old.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to throw zones again, see kind of where they fit. And in premium plastic, it's not going to beat up nearly as quickly. So
Right.
I had a couple of the Z ones, really liked them. Saw that you had like matching ones. Figured I'll just have a couple backups or whatever. Worked out. Sweet.
Right.
So
Help yourself.
yeah, thanks. So those are like strictly sidearm upshots or like really short, just sidearm hyzer holes. And then I basically have Big Brother Zone, which is an anvil similar to your Buzz OS because it's a faster, literally same thing, like it flat. This has been in my bag for however long now it's been because it's never really thrown anywhere where it can be lost.
Right.
So, and then mid ranges we got a couple. So buzzes, this has been my main one
Yep.
for a minute now.
Yep.
Feels great. Thanks, Darren.
Help yourself.
Thanks, I will. And I'll promptly lose another one at Ledgestone. I wish I could get it back because it flew great. But this is not like, I don't know, I've thrown out however many different molds now. So I'm just trying to find the stuff that I can get a lot of. And whatever I find a mid-range that just feels good,
Right.
it usually fits into a place. So this one is that for now. Old glow plastic, I guess, or whatever. It's just flat buzz. It's just really meaty on the like inside.
On the plate.
Yes.
Yep.
Versus other ones that still fly good, but it just kind of feels like crap. And then this was found at Spindler, actually, like no name or whatever. This is absurdly flippy. Like
Yep.
every time I throw it, it just does things that I still don't trust that it's going to do, like your Crank SS. It's like,
Yep.
it's going to do more than you think. So that's very utility for me. And like, get out of the jail, this and that. Like I have standstill, like no power to get into it. I
Yep.
can trust that I can get that somewhere. And then MD3, which were ones that I was actually liking a lot lately. And these are basically the unicorn buzzes, if you will.
Yeah.
Because people are always like, I want to find the really stable to like overstable buzzes, which that's not what they're designed to be.
Right.
But that's kind of what this is to me. Like it's still workable. You can do whatever. It's just like that uptick more. But as we've talked about before, the Discmania group is like, I could probably sell this for like $25, $30. And it's like, I don't want to pay that for this. I just happen to have it because I got it in a trade somewhere and
Right.
they weren't a part of that group.
And
So
you do a
really-
lot of work with that thing.
Yeah, I like this thing a lot,
Yeah.
actually. So if I could get more for not whatever, like $100 gets me 2 of them, like
Right.
that'd be sweet. And then one more up from that is a Glow Rock X3, whatever. Similar to MD4 for whoever cares, but I got this from Ian. It was another disc that was like, this just feels good. It's meaty on the plate. It'll probably fit in a spot somewhere. So I have like a lot of different molds, but like the flight characteristics of what I'm looking
Right.
for.
Understable.
Stable.
Really understable.
Yes.
Stable.
Overstable.
Yeah.
And then just utility overstable.
Yep.
So I don't know if I had to pick like out of these, like this is the go-to
Yep.
like every time. Like if I'm kind of like in a pinch or I'm not sure and I have to pick something,
Right.
I'll more than likely just
I want to
pick
rage
this.
throw, but I don't want to run F's basket.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the shot.
Yep.
So let's go into faster stuff if it gets out of here. Another maybe flaw of this cart. We'll see. So let's go distance drivers, I guess. So these are all distance drivers, and I've recently disked down to 2 molds, so
Yep.
PD2s and then D2s. So basically, I have distance drivers that are fast that I can trust to always come back left or whichever way they're going to hyzer out. This is like a no glidey PD2. Bless you.
Thank you.
A no glidey PD2
Yeah.
that I can just trust. Doesn't go very far. And then these ones have dome to them so they can get the pocket of air. Basically, we'll do the same thing, but we'll actually glide somewhere. So these, I have so much room in here that I just carry extra stuff. So I would just pick one over the other. Just, I don't know, one's prettier or whatever. But they basically do just the same thing. And then I've got 2 of these D2s that are pretty overstable, actually. Like, they're probably 2 ticks less than that. So they're more than normal. And I think a lot of it has to do with how they actually are. Heartbeat, poppy toppy. And then these ones are very flippy.
Yeah.
So overstable, distance driver, stable to overstable, and then just flippy for tailwind or whatever. But I've recently come to love these a lot. They're the unicorn destroyers that everyone's looking for, that like, I don't need to throw destroyers to throw destroyers. So I was able to get a crap load of those for very cheap, as you like, cheapest discs so I can get the most of.
Right.
I bought 20 of those for $140 shipped, and it was like 90% of them were perfect. The other ones, it's like, it's whatever. I'm cool with that crapshoot. So, and then I have way too many FDs in my bag because I have so much room for activities.
Yes.
These are the discs that I've recently come in love with because I don't even remember why I started throwing them other than just like general curiosity. They felt good in my hand. They're very similar to T-Bird, but the TL mold or whatever. And these are mid-ranges of fast speed or whatever. So I got a couple Team Stony ones. Shout out to Chris Lady and whoever else was giving me stuff or trading me stuff for them, because now I have a stack of them. I had like 2 of them, and I was like, that's not enough, because what if I lose both of them in some freak accident? So I have probably 15 or so now. So sweet. I feel comfortable with that. And these are like, the champ ones are pretty stable. Like, they'll still stand up. You can still throw them hard and you'll get flex out of them or whatever. And then the S-line ones, which is this one here that I got, shout out Mike, who goes in for everything, traded me I bought this from him. And this one's definitely flippier than normal.
Yeah.
And I have a couple other S-line ones that are kind of the same thing. I've noticed that champ ones are a little more domey, and S-line ones are a little more flat. So a little more understable. So those are great. I really like how those fly for me. And then I've got an FD3 and an Audi. And these are basically my Firebird slot for my bag. So I have, this is very similar to your Raptor. And then that's just a beefcake. And I love it. And it's just reliable. And those are like the same always, no matter what. Versus I've had a couple FD3s that are kind of anywhere on the spectrum of like still overstable, but you either get like meat hook or you get glidey meat hook or whatever. So I have, this is kind of a glidey meat hook that is just kill the ground.
Yeah.
And then I have a Roadrunner for rollers or any sort of weird understable fun shots. Like, I've thrown weird sidearm stand-ups with it just because, like that Buzz, this is just a faster version of it. And then this is my favorite disc that I missed when I was on Latitude and West Side, where it's like, there's nothing there to replace it. Like, there's stuff that's close, but it's not quite it. And it's like, I just don't love you as much as I love the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this was for me. And
let me see your Roadrunner.
yes, it's very, very beat up. Can you tell?
Yeah. I like the
Yeah,
the
I like it
bevel on
because
it.
it's weird, because it reminds me of like a tire, and tires roll well. Like, it makes no sense, but I've had long rollers with Roadrunners, like absurdly long ones, but I can't roll anything else either. So like, when I learned how to throw rollers, it was with a Roadrunner, and I've seen people roll overstable stuff, and it doesn't make sense to me. I can't get comfortable with it, and just my brain, I just like the shape that understable brings to rollers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the overstable roller either.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Rabin was pretty good at it, but I think that again, just in the mindset of what kind of disc thrower are you,
Yeah.
he just fit into that. I throw overstable stuff for rollers just because it makes sense or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think my setup is I like throwing stable to overstable
Yeah.
and making that work. So every time I'm looking for stuff, it's usually along those lines. So like looking for D2s, and when I pull them out, like I'm at the shop and whatever, I look for if it's got dome, and then if the parting line's like higher, more times than not, it's going to be something that I'm looking for. And then on top of that is, how does it feel in my hand? Like, does it make sense? Does it feel good or whatever? And if it looks great and feels like crap, more times than not, I probably just won't get it.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot where it's like, I want so badly to make it work, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So whatever. A lot of it has to do with hand feel, and then it finds a spot. And then as we talked about before, Warlocks. I used to have troubles with
So
putting.
you put 3 of the ones you just got in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, having 3 in there and just having them in rotation, like if they're sitting in my pouch or whatever, I'll grab the one that I can grab the lip with, and then when I'm done, I put it on this side. So it's like always in this rotation.
Yeah.
And then I never have one where it's like, this is my main one because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
They're all basically the same.
Yeah, that's how I do it with my putters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're all the same. They're all very consistent every time I've gotten them. And then a lot of that has to do with just like, how does it just feel?
Yeah.
Because it's the most important one. So if it's a little less stable, a little more, whatever, I can deal with that as long as it feels right in my hand. But if I'm looking for something more neutral, which is what I'm looking for, and it's really understable, it'll probably find a spot as like a thrower off the tee, because I don't throw my putters off the tee at all. Because again, investment in whatever. So if like a random tree hit, you hit an understable trip.
The ones you putt with, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not throw those. Like Jared used to do it. Dan and Kyle, I think Kyle for sure does it. Dan, I don't think he throws his P2s or whatever. But that's just kind of like how I throw. And then I have it over here. Oh, another MD3. I also have, that towel. A couple mitten bags. Talked about that last time. And then I don't have as many things as you do, but I've definitely taken note from you. I have like the same setup, these are bike handle extenders or whatever it is.
Yep.
Have the click gear stuff, my Nico chalk bag, and then also I'll have at least one cup holder because it fits a 40 ounce like perfectly. And I'll usually have Gatorade because the thing I find the most that I want on the course is that, because water doesn't really do it. I still feel like I'll drink it, I'll be hydrated, but I'm still like, ugh.
Yeah.
Gatorade is like, I don't know, electrolytes or sciencey things. Feel more upbeat. So it's usually like Gatorade or something I have in there. Unless it's a longer round, I'll also have Gatorade and water, and they're both usually gone by the end of the round.
Yeah.
So like, it's good, but
And my water sometimes is just a counterbalance if I take too big of a drag off the pre-workout.
yeah.
And then I'm too like, oh, I need some water to just kind of balance it out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So your bag is, I think, further developed because you've been throwing the discs in your bag longer. Like
Yes.
for me, I still have, like I guess before I switched to trying to do single manufacturer, I had more of each mold
Yeah.
than all these different molds. And I think like my bag right now is still like so many different molds because I'm
Right.
still trying to figure out like what it is that I like. And then I haven't had the time, other than the ones that I've bought at Play It Again Sports or the Throw Shop or whatever in used bins. I don't really have any that are like beat in.
Yeah.
Like they're all from the 2020 season.
Right.
So I think as stuff beats in and as stuff kind of gets to where it is, then instead of throwing the mold that is like a beat up X, I'll just have a beat up X.
Yeah.
You know.
Because when I build my bag, it's basically the same process every time. So I don't know, back in the old days now, like with Jared and even Paul and all the guys who play for Innova, like they have a set bag, and that's what I threw the most of at the time. Like when things got figured out, it was basically just whatever putter I had at the time, and then fairway drive. So putters, mid ranges, distance drivers, and fairway drivers. It was, you had your gator for overstable, you had some version of rock or multiple rocks for also stable to overstable and flippy, T-birds, firebirds, destroyers, and then a couple random things that also fit in there. So like an Excal for really overstable, like will come back kind of PD2, and then Roadrunner. So I had that bag set up, and I'm basically still just building that bag. And then there's slight variances, but that's kind of what I have in my head. So I have like this many slots for putters, which
Right.
is stable to overstable for the thrower, and then the utility like understable, stable, and then putting putters obviously, and then mid ranges for straight, whatever fits good, and then a gator like disc because a utility, and then same for all the rest of it. Like you have, I need distance or whatever. What can I trust? What fits good? I have my version of that of destroyer. That's why I always use that term. And Roadrunners, like for rollers and whatever, because those come into play. I don't, depending on where I'm playing, I
Yeah.
throw that disc a lot, or I throw it never. But it's always in there just in case, because there's always some point in time where it's going to be like, man, I wish I had that disc or whatever. So it always has a spot in there.
Yeah.
And then Firebirds and T-birds are like the other mainstay, because that's what I'm used to. They're really good utility discs, like what backhand, sidearm, whatever. You're not really going to throw spike hyzers with like T-birds unless they're just built that way
Right.
for whatever, like they come out or someone flattens them or something to where they're now not a T-bird, other than it's the same rim width or whatever. Like
Right.
it's technically a T-bird, but it's just meat hooky or whatever. But that's kind of just how I've built everything around it. So every time I look at an FD, I see T-bird. Like I just see that slot, versus like I see FD and then all these numbers start popping up in my head where it's like people will do that, and it like, dude, somebody did that, and it started driving me nuts. Like I started getting anxiety where it's like when someone says something to you and you're just like, you're so far on the other side of the fence of it, where
Yeah.
it's just like I'm immediate, like the more you talk, the more I'm losing respect for you. It's not necessarily that, but it's that same feeling where
Yeah.
it's just like, can you please stop?
Right.
Like this makes no sense to me.
Right.
Um,
My setup is switching now, and my goal is definitely for 2021. My setup will be different. The big thing that I have going on with mine is I've specifically been a backhand specialist for the last X number of years. My
Mhm.
left knee's been super shitty, so like I can't really even practice forehands because that like plant on the left knee will take me out of the later half of the season. If I
Yeah.
work early, I figured out like, I don't know, 4 years ago. If I work on forehands during the year, by the time like August comes, my knee's done.
really?
I'm done for the season.
Okay.
So like then when I'm trying to play states and when I'm trying to do shit later in the season, I can't throw a forehand then anyways because my knee's already trashed,
Yeah.
and then like my ability to throw a backhand is compromised. So like not this year, but the previous 3 years, I just didn't work on it. So it's
Mhm.
like it's not worth it. Like even if I practice and get it sweet, I'm not gonna be able to throw it late in the season anyways because my knee's not gonna be able to take it.
Yeah.
So this winter, after doing the work on my leg and whatever and everything good, I was like, all right, well this year I can actually work on forehands. So this year I've actually been able to like work on forehands. So some of the like repetitive, like you have the Roadrunner.
Mm-hmm.
I have, you have like a flippier FD and you have a flippier D2 and all that. Like at each phase of my shit, I have like flippy
Yeah.
because I need to be able to hyzer flip to a fade if I have like a long shot that needs to end up to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So like my putter, my mid-range, my fairway driver, my distance driver, and then even like the long range driver. I have 5 discs in my bag that are all like dumb flippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like other people, if you were to throw it, you'd be like, why do you have this? And it's like, well, I don't
Yeah.
throw forehands.
Yeah.
So, and I've gotten to be good with those discs for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been really nice this year, like working on throwing forehand shots, because then it's like, one, this is much more reliable, because a hyzer is definitely more reliable
Oh,
than
yeah.
a flip.
Yeah.
But it also in my mind is like cool because it'll just free up room in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then it'll be able to, instead of having to throw some like really touchy hyzer flip shot to have it fade to the right at the end, but not for the first 140 feet, I'll be able to throw like a straight forehand that just goes down and then falls over.
Right.
And then I can kind of clean up some of those discs because I'm not going to need that many.
Right.
You know.
Because some are probably just going to fall out of your bag just because
they're
now there's no
useless then.
spot. Yeah,
Right, they're
exactly.
useless. Like I don't need 4 discs that I can like throw kind of high up in the air and have them fade over to the right.
Yeah, because I feel like I've gotten pretty good at. I always hate losing discs.
Yeah.
Like on a whatever shot, but to some degree, a lot of those like unicorn ones or whatever, like the couple D2s that are crazy flippy, they're getting thrown in a spot where I know it's like I might lose it or whatever, but this is the only one that'll do it like this. And for me to execute this, I need to throw this thing. So if I lose it, I know I'm taking that risk and then
Right.
moving on past that, because finding that stuff, like I'll grab them when I can if I know that it's going to be flip. Like if Mike has a bunch, I'm going to go throw it and see. And if it's doing what I think it's going to do, yeah, here, take my money. And now I have backups for it. But like the across the board, how D2s are meant to be out of the factory are not necessarily that.
Right.
Versus like I have all these. And then if I lose that, I'm playing it with a game that is, I know what the discs are going to do, how they're going to fly. And if I have to throw it on that same angle as the flippy one, I know that I have to give it more power, more angle, and it's going to be a tougher shot to execute because this one's really going to want to fight out of it versus this other one that doesn't. Like I'm thinking of 10 specifically at Toboggan, like the high turnover, whatever. Like even just having the ability to throw the flippy ones and then finding out like this isn't even really what I want. So I'm
Right.
throwing the one that is going to fight out more so I get that extra glide. But like if I had to only play with one D2, like I wouldn't choose the flippy one. It would just be the stable one and work around with that versus the chaotic one that is
Right.
it could do whatever because that's more reliant on did I get enough on it? Did I get enough angle, speed, snap, whatever?
Right.
Versus the other one where it's like it's basically just going to do this no matter what. It's just at when is it going to break?
Yeah.
So,
For me, playing all the rounds early in the season with flippy stuff, like it definitely hammered home to me of like you're throwing a much lower percentage shot.
yeah.
Like I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I throw mostly, like I say, like on this side, like I'm throwing mostly like hyzer flips to flat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And letting go flat. Like I'm very rarely throwing something stable. Like, oh, I need to go to the right. Until this year, I would never try to throw it with something that wasn't just understable.
Yeah.
And definitely like as we've switched over and like you've watched me fuck around with the Rogue and all that and like, oh, okay, I can hold that like to an ante all the way to the ground.
Mhm.
Like my brain before like refused to accept that.
Yeah.
It was like, no, you got to throw something understable.
Yeah.
And throwing all those shots with understable discs, it's much trickier and a much lower success percentage because, yeah, if you just get over it a little bit too much or you don't put enough, hyzer on it out of your hand, or if you don't put enough snap on it, like your results are going to vary so much.
Yeah.
Where like that more stable disc, when you're putting it over that way, yeah, it can vary, but it's not going to vary as much,
Mhm.
because if something kicks over too much, you're not getting the flight out of it.
Right.
It's just going to go and attack the ground and then maybe hit a roll, you know what I mean, or whatever. Or if you
The
don't,
infamous cut roll.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
don't put enough on it, then like it's going to hyzer off to the left. So you're trying to hit
Yep.
this gap, but you're bringing in like this much of acceptability. Where
Right.
the other way, you're trying to hit this gap, but you're really only bringing in like this much acceptability. So
Yeah.
it's definitely. But I look forward to continuing to work on my forehand and cleaning up my form, and then just like taking those guys, maybe except for one or two, like out of the mix,
Mm-hmm.
because I do like a flippy disc for that exact like standstill situation.
Yeah.
I can't get much on the disc. I need it to do this. I can't get my forehand to move, and I need to like get it out and have it go right, or I need to like get some decent distance out of this shot.
Yeah.
So
Because
that-
there's like a handful of those discs in my bag that very rarely get thrown.
Yeah.
But like again, when you get put into that situation, it's like, oh, I have the perfect disc for this, and then all of a sudden, like your confidence is 100%, and the
Yeah.
shot's usually executed like 9 times out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Crank SS I had a sweet shot with at Stony earlier in the year, and it was like I was kind of behind this tree. I had to throw it like really high up in the air, but the tree in front of me was like blocking, and like I had to throw it out this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then I needed it to go up over this tree in the air and then fade out and get like a full flight. And I was like, oh, this can totally do that.
Yeah.
So I just cranked it like up in the air on a hyzer.
No pun intended.
Yeah. And watched it like get up on the hyzer, get up over the tree, and then literally just do a flex full flight like out of that and then come down. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome to have that disc. How
Yeah.
many times is that going to come up? Not very many,
Right.
but
But when it does, sweet.
good to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. and then tunnel shots. Like I said, when we played Hudson last week, like I was 1 under for the extra holes.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I'm good at throwing hyzer flips.
Yeah.
And I'm good at throwing like tunnel shots because that's a lot of what I've spent my time doing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I did well in that because it's like, oh, okay, it's just a hyzer flip, where other people are like, I can't, you can't do it and whatever because you throw a lot of hyzers or flex shots or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So cool. Well, that's what we throw.
Yeah.
Always subject to change.
Yeah.
But for right now, this timestamp, that's what it is. I'm probably going to put, that's the zone that I got with the
Oh, yeah.
with the pound bag.
Nailed it.
So I'm going to probably put that in my bag today. Like I'm definitely in my zone. It's probably going to
Hit the bin.
Hit the bin.
Yep.
Take a break.
Later.
Take a breather. Doesn't mean that you're bad.
Yeah.
It just means that our team is moving in a different direction.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. We're over here practicing doing things. You're over there fucking clowning around.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
So the funny part is my knee snapped gruesomely.
Ah.
And then my junior and senior year of high school, they let me coach the freshman basketball team.
Yeah.
And so in coaching the freshman basketball team, I got to deal with the other side of me. Which now I'm trying to coach and get the attention and do all this stuff or whatever. And I got like Larry over there, like
That's hilarious.
running his fucking mouth. Larry. And I'm like, God, I had to be so annoying as a player. Like if I was a coach, I would have hated me too.
That's great.
Yeah, and I thought it was like a political thing. I'm like, oh, they don't play me because of whatever. And it's like, no, they didn't play me because I was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't shut up at practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also air grievances like loudly to a group.
Really?
Also not going to make you popular.
Oh, wow.
But whatever.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. So did you watch some coverage for the GMC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch the final round yet. I watched my most recent was round 3.
Yeah.
At not Fox Run. What is it called? Why can't I remember?
Ridge.
Smuggler's Notch?
Smuggler's Notch is a whole thing.
Yeah,
whatever the other one.
Anyways, not Fox Run. The other one, I don't know why I can't remember. Anyways, watching Kevin Jones just mutilate that course was hilarious.
Yeah, 8 down after 9.
Yeah.
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 Disgusting.
Hilarious. And like even just listening to the commentation, like it's just great. It's just like, yeah, I feel that way after shooting like 2 down. Like I finished the round, I'm 2 down. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin finishes the round. Like, dude, that sucks because like he missed arguably like 2 easy holes, and it was the 9th hole on the front and back or whatever. And it's just like derpy wants to miss. Like you go to firefighters and you're like, I shot 16 down. What holes did you miss? And I missed 13 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened? I don't know. I blacked out for a minute.
Fell asleep, took the hole for granted, whatever it actually was. But yeah, those courses are sick.
Yeah, they look sick.
Absolutely disgusting and awesome. And
yeah, they look
we need some of those in Michigan.
They look
or
difficult.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, they look difficult.
Yeah, they look difficult, but not unplayable.
Yeah.
Versus like there's courses here that are arguably sweet, but they're just hard to deal with just because maintenance.
Yeah. Well, and some of them are just new.
Yeah.
They're just new courses.
Yeah.
So courses need to wear in. It's like getting dress shoes.
Yeah.
Like you put them on and you're like, these fucking dress shoes suck. And then if you wear them, it's comfort that you earn, not comfort that you buy. That's what a guy told me at a shoe store one time. He said, these are comfort that you earn, not comfort that you buy. Like if you break them in, they're going to be insanely comfortable for a really long time.
Yes.
I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
So I think a good disc golf course a lot of the time, unless it's like a wide open course, which I don't really enjoy, but it's greatness that is earned. You know, all those rounds that are thrown on that course to break it in, you know, and break in the lines and kick all those tiny little stumps out of the ground,
right,
you know, with your flesh. It just takes a little bit to break them in. And so like I think that we've got some courses that are shaping up. They're going to be great. But for right now, you're still playing like a young course.
Yeah.
That like there's ninja branches and you know, lines are kind of weird and tight. I watched the coverage. I really liked watching the Paul, Ricky, Nico, whatever round.
I haven't seen that one.
So I watched a bunch of it because yesterday I had plans and then my plans got canceled and then it was just kind of like a waste of a day. But so I watched a bunch of disc golf and I liked watching that. It was cool watching like Ricky and Paul kind of battle, you know, for that quite a bit. Like Ricky missed a couple of putts and still shot a sweet round, and Paul missed a couple of things. He had some weird putts and still shot a sweet round, you know, and like, and Nico shot 9 down too. So it was like a sweet, You know, I think it was the third round chase card. You know, so
Yeah, I think Gatekeeper covered that one or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was
Whatever.
Gatekeeper. Yeah, and then when I was going to bed, I watched The Ladies, which I never really watched, but I was thinking it'd be a cool round
Mm-hmm.
because like there's a lot of stuff on Facebook. I watched second round, so it was like Paige, Sarah Holcomb, Haley King, and Kona.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just wanted to see how that goes and stuff. And yeah, it was cool watching them. I just never get to watch them, you know. And you just like, Paige is such a monster. You
Yeah.
know? You just like I lose track of how small she is until she goes to the basket to get her disc out,
Yeah.
and the disc is like, and the top of the basket's like at her shoulder,
Yeah.
and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
man.
You
know?
tiny.
You tiny. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she. I think of, you know, they have those commercials or they have those videos and stuff where like the NBA players like dress up as old men.
Mhm.
Have you ever seen any of those? They do it for soccer too.
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they'll have
Yeah.
like Ronaldo in like old man makeup and clothes
Yeah.
and stuff, and he'll go and like fake like he's old and then
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
yeah,
then play
yeah.
soccer and just fuck everyone
Yes,
up and then take the
yes.
makeup off and they're like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
Ronaldo. I just think like the ultimate beat would be fucking Paige. Like you just
Yeah.
take like Paige and just go somewhere and have her dressed like, you know,
Yeah.
not Paige, so you didn't know it was Paige, and you said it's like small woman. And be
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys want to play for money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know Macbeth did that?
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He did that like, I don't know, years ago now. And he
Yeah.
was playing like I forget whose channel it was on. It might have just been his, but the makeup was so shit. Like they had to have thought like, what's up with this guy?
Yeah, is he a
this
burn
isn't
victim?
like, yeah.
Yeah.
But like at the end, it was just like, oh, but like they were trying to like give him pointers. He was throwing like all weird and like terrible.
Yeah.
And he was good at throwing terrible.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, he was like throwing a couple like great shots, and then like, whoa, you really got that advice like
Yeah, you got the hang of
down.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you do that so fast? And then at the end, he's like, I'm secretly Paul. And they're like, oh shit. Like, yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to do that all the time when I would go to raves,
Yeah.
late 90s. Yeah, because I could break dance and shit.
Yeah.
So I would go and just like dance terribly
Yeah.
and just see like if people are arrogant enough to come over and like try to like teach me how to dance.
Yeah.
And then I just fucking rip shit up and be like, oh, thanks
Yeah.
for the pointers.
Yeah. Appreciate it, bro.
Dick.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
love-
that stuff is always great to me. Like the one that I always thought would be amazing
Yeah.
is like going on to like America's Got Talent or like American Idol and just biffing it super hard or like kind of being okay. And then they're like, oh, you got like a different song? Like, yeah, I got this other song that's secretly way harder and just fucking nail
Nailing
it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like every time I would watch that, I would just hope for it. I haven't watched that stuff in forever now. But
I'm shocked that you ever watched it. We're learning new things.
I know.
I had it happen to me one time. I forget where I was. Oh, I was at Club Soda in Kalamazoo,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget who was performing, but it was like electronic music.
Okay.
And I was there, and there was this like tall, skinny black dude with dreads, and he
Mhm.
was like half-assed like breakdancing,
Yeah.
and I like went to give him some pointers, and then no shit, this dude just like totally fucking tore it up, and I was
Yeah.
like, I just like dropped my head, started laughing, and I was
He
like,
did the thing you just
"Oh."
talked about.
I was like, oh shit. So he came up afterward and was like kind of clowning me or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I've done that so many times. I'm like, that's so funny that you did that to me.
Mhm.
And was like,
Who is better, you or him?
oh, him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even close. He's doing like full flares and all this crazy shit. And I was just like, oh, like the minute he started like actually doing stuff, I was like,
I'll just go.
ooh, got him. Got him. Oh, it's pretty funny.
That's great.
Yeah, he totally got me. Totally fell into it. But yeah, I liked those courses. Those courses look really sweet.
Yeah.
They a lot of out of bounds, a lot of wind, you know. And I was just thinking like, yeah, I wouldn't right now. I would just do poorly, you know, because I'm not super comfortable with my discs. My form changed, and then like my discs fly differently, and I'm just having a lot of like lack of confidence. Of like, I know this is gonna do that,
Mhm.
you know. So I was like, yeah, it probably wouldn't be enjoyable, but
Yeah.
I'd look forward to like maybe next year trying to do something like that.
Right.
And then you're getting ready to go to MVP,
Yes.
which will be dope as fuck.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been so excited to play this course for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, and finally going and playing. Like the course doesn't like, not that the course isn't hard.
Yeah.
But it's not like playing Ledgestone. Like there's just a different level of it. I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just getting those reps in. So there's not really worry of losing discs unless they like get hidden by ground gnomes and
Yeah.
you throw way short into the pond on one or whatever, and or the couple other holes. But even those holes like aren't crazy long. But it's a pretty iconic course.
Yeah.
And
Super.
Yeah, and it's all the rounds are there, and it's I don't know. I'm just excited to go play it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sick.
So you and Phil are gonna leave tomorrow
Yeah.
and drive out there.
Yeah.
And then play Wednesday, or are you guys gonna try to play tomorrow?
No, I think we're driving all day tomorrow, playing Wednesday, and that's it.
And then tournament
Depends.
starts Thursday.
Yeah.
But he's played it
Yes.
before. And
Yeah, and even he was telling me, it was like, dude, you'll get it. Like, it's not like terribly difficult. It's pretty clear cut and dry. And then I just want to go play, get the caddy book like situated where I want to be to like throw second shots on the others or whatever, and where not to be at
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
where I don't want to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, I feel good. Like the last time we were playing, everything was just feeling really, really good. Like the timing was on point. I was really feeling the weight of the disc. Like I know you were telling me in training, like how to do like lifts or whatever, where the only way you can do it is actually like you feel the weight and you have it travel on that line. Was it the snatch and or clean and press?
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. But
like doing
snatch is the same thing.
Yeah. But doing it the right way, like with just the bar, like you can muscle it or whatever. And then when you have a little weight or whatever, we didn't do it with any weight, but there was differences that I could tell where it's like I got it up on that straight line and then pressed, and then translating that into like holding a disc and feeling this weight and then making that weight more, like just building all the momentum into it and then having it release and having that be like as high percentage power transfer. Like I was feeling that a lot.
Yeah.
Like when we were at Spindler, it was awesome.
It was funny doing it with Jake when we went to the park on Saturday. Because after like the third throw, he's like, "Oh, that hurt my finger."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Because you're actually getting it into the disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there'll be the times where it's like, did my arm just fall asleep? It's like, no, just the blood rushed to your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Just my testosterone just
Yeah.
filled the arm.
Yeah.
Arm responded poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, I would be. It's going to be
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's a sweet
I
course.
feel like I could play that course pretty well.
Yeah.
So
Cool. I have next thing I'm going to play is going to be I'm on the wait list at Cass for whatever that tournament that was going to be at Cass and at Northridge, and then Northridge said they can't play there anymore, so it's going to be at Cass, and that's next Sunday.
okay.
Right? Yeah, this Sunday coming up. So I'll be excited to go play Cass.
Yeah.
'Cause I love playing that course. And
Yeah. That's another course that like aesthetically, I don't know, like a 4.
yeah,
But like the play of it is like a 9.
yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time, and it's
Yes.
a hard course. I mean, like doing well is like 9 down,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's there, and it's not impossible.
Right.
Like none of it is like you have to do this crazy thing. You just
Yeah.
have to execute and play smart.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then just like taking your medicine, whatever, because you can get into spots where it's like, you know, if you're trying to do something that you're risking like taking an extra stroke just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
But you could also make up for it.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'll be good. Were you ready to work out?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get our gains.
Yeah, gains.
Get the gains. All right. Thanks.
All right,
We'll
bye,
see you later.
everybody.
Bye.